All right. All right. Listen, I apologize first and foremost for this damn pimple on my forehead. I'm looking like a unicorn. But more importantly, I apologize for taking such a long time off. I have reasons though. I had some difficulties in regards to the health and well-being of my child. So that was something I had to handle. He's here. He's a month now. So that means we haven't spoken in at least a month. I'm very, very upset about that. But we are back tonight for a regular scheduled episode. We're going to start airing 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to start airing 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live. We're going to do it live here. So I appreciate for those of you that stuck around and things of that nature. I appreciate for those of you who decided to stick with me and things of that nature. I truly, truly, truly appreciate that. And I am glad that you guys are here with me here today. Now, with that being said, we have a nice slate of things we need to talk about. I don't really want to say let's catch up because a lot of that stuff was old news. And I don't really want to harbor on old news. This pimple is going to drive me nuts, but it's whatever. It was because I was trying to get some waves, wore a damn do-rag for 48 hours straight, and this is what I got a result of. So I want to kind of fix this to get focused more on me a little bit more. Excuse me, I'm trying to fix this camera a little bit. There we go. Much better. All right. So do apologize about that. So I appreciate all y'all being patient. Make sure you follow me on all social media networks. I was still active online. I was still active on Twitter. I actually relaunched my my radio show, Mars World Radio, all of that stuff. So yeah, you know, uh, that's something that we can all be. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, I appreciate y'all patience and I thank y'all for bearing with me during that crazy hiatus. But it's a lot of stuff to talk about. Where are we? I want to grab some topics. I got some videos and some pictures that's loaded up that I'm going to get into, but it was something in particular about parenting that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to make sure I talk about that. Let me see real quick. Let me see real quick, because I probably can just skip it, to be honest with you. What we going to see? Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. It's a couple things I want to address real quick. Let's talk about, we're going to start off with some next gen parenting before we get into the heavy. So I had said something online and, it resonated with quite a few people. I said, there is nothing successful about living below the poverty line. You survived, but you didn't live. It's a harsh reality, but it's a fact. Stop telling kids your success story. The bar is way too low. So essentially what happens is you see a lot of people telling their kids like, hey, I made it. I raised you by myself. I did it by myself. Um, you know, you always had food on your plate, and you always had a place to live and clothes on your back. You should be thankful. Yeah, those basic essentials you should be thankful for. Why not? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, not everybody has food, clothing, shelter. That's a fact. So yeah, be thankful for that. But stop telling your kids that that's a success story because you live below the poverty line your entire life. That's not a success story. To me, that sounds like you were kind of lazy. Now there's circumstances that may have prevented you from doing certain things. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disrespecting you on that manner. I don't even want you to think I'm disrespecting you on that manner. But to sit here and tell people that you are a success story, that's a problem. There's nothing successful about living below the poverty line. There's nothing successful about that because at the end of the day, how are you possibly successful when you didn't get yourself out of poverty? Now, again, there's situations where some things happen and you couldn't get out of that poverty. You know what I mean? It wasn't a thing that you could do. It wasn't something that was possible. But to sit here and act like you are a success story because you lived on social services your entire life, that's not fair. That's not fair. You know what I mean? That's not fair. We're going to talk about how the system, the topic of tonight is the system isn't broken. The system isn't broken. It is working like a charm. It's working like a charm. I hate when people say we live in a broken system. No, we don't. We don't live in a broken system. We live in a system that is working like a charm. It is working the way it was designed to work. That's the system we live in. And we live in a system that was designed to work this way. So we can't continue to keep running this false narrative, we live in a broken system. No, we don't live in a broken system. This system is perfect. It is working exactly how it was designed to work. Do we need to break this system? Yes. But is the system broken? No. The system is flawless. If a jeweler was looking at the diamond, he would say these are flawless diamonds or perfect diamonds, VVS. The color is clear. You know what I mean? The system isn't broken. So we have to stop that false narrative saying the system is broken, because it has parents and mothers and fathers thinking, hey, I might have lived my whole life in abject poverty, but I'm a success because I'm not dead, I'm not in jail. I got food on the table that I didn't provide because I got social services. I got clothes on my back, and I got a place to live that I don't pay for because I'm on social services. That's not a success story. That's actually a very sad fucking story. I don't like making it seem like I'm turning my nose up at people that live in poverty, because I don't know what could have gotten you there and why you're not out of it. But to sit here and act like that's the ultimate goal, you're just creating generational poverty. Like a lot of times, like I see, for instance, a person that, no disrespect to his profession, but I want to use this as an example because I want to look at an example of potential elevation. I see a person that's a CNA, and that person will be a CNA for 30 years, 40 years. Why not opt to go and be a registered nurse? Like, what is it that, what's the line of work that you prefer with wiping asses that you wouldn't prefer with being a nurse, where you wipe less asses? Or shit, you can be a traveling nurse. You know what I mean? Where you can go ahead and wipe asses, but you can go wipe asses in LA. You can wipe asses in North Carolina. You can wipe ass in Georgia. You can wipe ass in Colorado. You can wipe ass in Illinois, Texas. Like, why is there why are you not trying to elevate? And I know a lot of times some people be like, well, I have kids and whatnot, but where are the kids at when you're at work? Working those doubles that a lot of you do, especially CNAs do that a lot. They love to work those doubles. Where are those kids at when you're working those doubles? Are you not able? That damn balloon gonna drive me nuts. Are you not able to, cut back on some of those doubles and possibly apply that towards some type of schooling? Is there? I mean, again, there may be a financial situation where you can't do that, but your kids aren't kids for 30 years. So at some point, I think, you got to think outside of being a 30, 40-year CNA. Again, that may be a line of work that you enjoy, but I feel like if you're living in poverty and you're a CNA, then maybe we should start thinking of other options. Fellas, a lot of y'all like to sit here and work, hop from job to job to job. Some of y'all sit in a fast food restaurant or a fast food job or a server job, forever. And it's kind of like, how come you don't want to elevate to manager or something? Like, what's it? Where is the, like? I just like to look and find out what moves people. What's your ambition? Why are you not trying to climb out of abject poverty? I'm not in poverty. I'm middle class, and I'm still trying to elevate within the ranks of the middle class system. not to be to a detriment to the quality time with my kids, but it just got to be a balance of work. It has to be a work-life balance where you're looking to, constantly elevate and become a better person to help take care of your family, things of that nature. We live in a capitalist world where things aren't getting cheaper. So that's why I'm like, I try not, I don't want to be harsh about it. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to be mean or be harsh about it, but I want to be real about it. You know what I mean? We can't sit here and tell people that it's okay to live in abject poverty or live below that poverty line, collect social services for 40, 50 years and say you lived a good life. That's not a good life. It's not. There's nothing good about that life. You actually was a prisoner of your own poverty or a prisoner of your own mind. And there's so much information out there to help you get out of that, to use an excuse, whatever excuse you got, your kids become adults. And at that point, you can, let's say all your kids hit 18, 19, 20, and they go ahead and bounce off to college. At that point, you can go ahead and look to elevate at that point. You see what I'm saying? So we can't keep sitting here teaching our parents or letting our parents believe that it's okay to sit in these mentalities, or let our kids believe it's okay to sit in abject poverty below that poverty line because they got food on the table, clothes on their back, and a place to live. We have to think long term, because I see a lot of GoFundMe's for funerals. The reason why there's GoFundMe for funerals is because y'all not thinking outside of the box. A lot of y'all don't have 401ks where your 401ks actually you can pull it out, pull money out of your 401k and take care of a funeral. A lot of y'all don't have life insurance where if somebody's to die, their life insurance to take care of that funeral expense. So it's just like we gotta think about all those kind of things. So life is a full circle. It's a full circle of life. You gotta think from birth to death. All that shit matters. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be born and then you die and you ain't known for, not even known, you ain't gotta be famous or shit like that, but all you did was live, or all you did was survive. You lived 70 years and survived. That's how you want to live your years you've been given. So that's, what I mean, we gotta get out that mentality. So that's what I mean by that, to break that all the way down. You know what I mean? I know that was a bit long-winded, but I just wanted to be clear on that. And another thing I did was something came over me in regards to, something I always had a rule with my kids. I never let my kids eat food off my plate because I didn't want them to get in the habit of always begging for my food. That was petty. I now said I'm gonna start sharing my food with my kids because I actually want them to understand that whatever food is on my plate is for you too. You know what I mean? So when I'm out here, and it's a metaphor to be honest with you, when I'm out here hustling, I'm out here grinding, I'm out here, doing things to get us ahead. I'm This is for y'all too. This ain't just for me. It ain't just for y'all. It ain't just for y'all. It's for me too. But this is for us. It's for all of us. So if it's on my plate, it's for you too. And I think that mentality of telling them they can't eat off my plate come off as a bit selfish, and they might internalize that like, hey, what's my dad's, what's mine's mine. And I also want them to have somewhat of that mentality as well, because they got to take care of themselves eventually. But as kids, I need to show them like, look, this is a family oriented thing. You know what I mean? We got to do this for the entire family. The focus is for the family. If the whole family is thriving, nobody would ever fall out the family. Nobody in the family will fall. You won't have a person who's sitting here leaning on everybody. If everybody up, we can keep everybody up. Nobody will fall because everyone will be each other's crutches. Jay-Z said that. You see what I'm saying? Nobody will fall because we'll all be each other's crutches. So we ain't never gonna have a person who's a leech. You see what I'm saying? So that's something that came over me. You know what I mean? And it's weird that it came over me the way it did, because I realized, I'm like, yo, why the fuck don't you let your kids eat off your plate? You know what I mean? Why is that? Because at the end of the day, you got to show them that what you're doing is for them too. It's not just for you, it's for them too. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. Now, I want to also talk about, let's get into this other shit, right? I want to start with this right here.
Putting himself in danger.
My fault. I had to mute the mic so it don't make that little echoing sound. Now, Amanda Seales, there's a man on death row in Texas. I forget his name. You know, the point I need to make doesn't really involve his name. There's a black man in Texas who was on death row. He ended up getting relieved of death row for now. Amanda is saying that this man has a history of beating women. So because he has a history of beating women, then maybe we shouldn't jump to his defense because he was wrongly accused of a murder he didn't do. Now, you did also hear her say that this man was wrongly accused. Now, I
Putting
want y'all to
himself in
also
danger.
read this what Shaun King has said. Even though you got Shaun King, but read this on what he said in regards to this. We have to the family of Rodney Reed, that's his name, have to respond directly to Amanda Seales. We have counted over 20 egregious factual errors in her viral video, but none were more inflammatory and damaging than this one. Here she says that Rodney Reed, who she fails to say was a high school student at the time in Wichita Falls, Texas, raped and killed a woman there. Lies, all lies. I'm proud to report that only Amanda, in her rush to get a video out, killed that woman. She is thankfully still alive and well today. She was not murdered by Rodney or anyone else, and the jury voted quickly and unanimously to acquit Rodney on all charges in that case. So many lies in this video. Rodney did not commit the crime, was acquitted, and the woman was never murdered. People be careful with. All right, I don't care about all that shit he's talking about now. So you see how quick Amanda tried to use, I'm here trying to defend women just to tear down another man, but she's not even fact checking none of this shit she was saying. This is a common thing with her, especially when it comes to black men in particular. You don't see her acting like this in direct attacks against any other race besides American black men, foundational black Americans. She does this. Now, does this man have a criminal rap sheet? Yeah. But does it deserve for him to be wrongfully executed? Based on what I read, no. He's acquitted of these because juries are voting unanimously. These ain't some shits where he's getting off on technicalities. Unanimous votes of acquittals are happening for this man. So obviously he wasn't doing this shit. In Texas, come on, we ain't. Let's not act like Texas ain't ready to kill a nigga in a minute. So for Amanda to get on her video and make all make a bunch of shit up, this is the type of shit we be talking about. And then she get on the Breakfast Club crying, talking about people only hate her because she light skinned. People only hate her because she's non-foundational American. No, people don't like you because of this kind of stupid shit that you do. You get up on that platform and you talk that kind of shit on a man that is innocent of what he was being accused of, clearly, because he's been cleared of this shit previously in the past, and they just took him off death row now because new evidence showed he was never involved in the original crime he was convicted for. So this is easily a man who, again, why is he in these situations? I'm not one to blame victim, but at the end of the day, when it comes to the rap sheet, when it comes to the legalities of the things, he has been acquitted several times, and more information has come out showing that he didn't do the crime that he was originally convicted for, that he was about to be executed for it. So we have to understand the kind of person she is, which I want to lead y'all into this next segment for this kind of motherfucker, because it's all gonna connect. I know totally different topics. It's all gonna connect, but I want y'all to check this out too. I gotta mute my mic. All right. All right. So Stephen A decided to post that video after Colin Kaepernick. Now, more details came out during that time. So the details already came out. You notice he said, you want to control the narrative. At the end. You also notice he said that Colin Kaepernick, he said he started naming off the things the NFL was providing for Colin Kaepernick. So we're providing films that are facility receivers, da 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 da. Why the fuck would Colin Kaepernick trust him with his film? See, to me, the most important part was the waiver, which had a clause in there that tried to get the NFL to protect themselves, which I get it. You want to protect yourself. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it opened up an opportunity for y'all to do some more colluding. You see what I'm saying? So I get that. That's an argument on both sides that, like, I'm like, hey, look, man, if you don't do good in this, you're not about to sue us again talking about we colluded against you. I get the NFL side on that. And Colin's side is, I don't trust y'all with that waiver because that means y'all can just collude against me whether I do good or not. Then y'all want to control my film, which means y'all can chop up all the bad parts, release that and say, hey, this is what he did. This is Colin Kaepernick now. He's not good enough. And then everybody be like, all right, cool, not good enough. So controlling my film was a hell no. Not letting the media in was a hell no. Not letting me provide my own receivers is a hell no, because you never do that with any other workout. Why was it held on a Saturday? Knowing you can't send nobody of any significance to that. Never heard of it. Again, never heard of it. Usually it's on Tuesdays. That is something I did know because Tuesdays is off days for NFL teams. They usually like have game on Sunday, walkthrough on Monday, off on Tuesday, back Wednesday. So we're not gonna do that. So this is like Stephen A. Smith has been damn near torpedoing to that line of Cooney. And he's already there at this point. It's something I noticed a few years back, where, especially when it came to weed and when it comes to racial issues, he's extremely harsh on black players. When what was that dude that was that played for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he was nigga this and nigga that, nigga this and nigga that. I kill a nigga. That's in the third when he went to that concert. Stephen A. was real light in the voice with that guy. But yeah, he going all crazy on Josh Gordon over some weed. So it's just kind of like you don't have that same energy when it comes to white players and how they behave that you have when it comes to black players and how they behave. No matter if the white players' behavior is more egregious than the black players. So that's where Stephen A. lost me at years ago, because he's been like this. He's been like this. Stephen A. is a company man through and through. Whatever he's told to say on the media platform, Stephen A. Smith is going to say it. He's gone. He out here talking about, oh, kids, you may not be Jay-Z, you may not be Drake, but you can be me. Nigga, I don't want my kids being no Butter Biscuit Coon. What the fuck is you talking about? Why the hell would I want my kids to be you? A company man? A man who will sell us... I was going to say sell his own people out, but we not his people. Foundational black Americans aren't his people. Now, Colin's biracial, so I don't know what his bloodline is, or if his parents, one of his parents is foundational black Americans. He was raised by two white people. He was raised by white parents in the adoption system. But at the end of the day, Stephen A. Smith is not a foundational black American. So he does not relate to the foundational black American experience. He has ties and dual allegiance to the West Indies. He's admitted that on his own. So you gotta watch these people. Amanda Seales, Stephen A. Smith, Candace Owens. They all starting to sound alike, aren't they? They have this vitriol against black American men. They have this hatred deep in their soul against us. You see what I'm saying? And it's just, it shows. It shows. If you let it fester long enough, it'll rear its ugly head, and they will prove to you how they truly feel about us and how much they hate us and how much they want to see us suffer, how they don't understand what the hell is going on out here, how they know they gonna play good old boy and good old girl because they don't want to get in those troubles. They don't want to get in those troubles. You see what I'm saying? And they pull that shit. And this brings me to another thing. I said I'm gonna just touch on this old thing real quickly. The Harriet movie. Here we are. This Harriet movie flopped like a fish out of water. It flopped terribly. And they blame black men for it. They blame black people for it. Talking about, oh, y'all shouldn't act like that. Y'all gonna act like that every time somebody's not a foundational black American as an actor. We don't act like that towards Idris Elba. We don't do that to him. We let him act in whatever movie he fucking want to. You know why? Because he just ain't online disrespecting us. The actress that played Harriet was disrespecting us. This movie flopped so bad that they decided to leak this story. Now, did a Hollywood executive probably say that? Yeah, he probably said that. He or she probably said that. Do you think they really was gonna have this white woman play Harriet fucking Tubman? No. They were never gonna have that shit. But did somebody say that? Yeah. Did they say, oh, this would be a perfect opportunity for us to get some free black promo? Because I told you this before. The best promo that you can have on the internet in 2019, the best promo that you can possibly have is Black Outrage. If you want some shit to go across this globe in a hot second, you piss off black people and they gonna spread this shit like wildfire. And this is what they did. The only reason why it worked is because they didn't say Scarlett Johansson. If they put Scarlett Johansson on here, people would have just laughed and just thought they were trolling. But they decided to opt into Julia Roberts and say, here, let's choose her. We're going to say Julia Roberts. The person probably really said Scarlett Johansson, and I mean, they just changed it to Julia Roberts because they know it spread better in the media. I'm telling you, Black Outrage, man, that's the best promotion you can ever get. Now, speaking of Harriet Tubman, because I want to move into another section, I want y'all to listen to this and let me know. I'm going to break down to y'all what's going on and how I feel about this. I want y'all to listen to this, though.
Round one, fight!
All right. Because it's a lot going on. They're gonna really go back and forth with that. But the gist of the point was out. Judge Joe Brown had an issue with the feminist movement pushing this agenda to get a black woman on the face of a bill before a black man. And his reasoning was every ethnic group is led by its men, except the black community. And that's with the help of outside forces. And what he's saying is, if the black community was led by its men, the proper thing to do would be to lead by putting a black man on the bill first and then move on from there. So, I got mixed feelings about that, and I think most of us got mixed feelings about it is because it's Harriet Tubman, and we know she was a rider. She was more of a rider than the most men in history. So that's where people have an issue with it at. Is it because of the person they're putting on? But I do 100% understand what he's saying, that ethnic groups typically are led by their men, except the black community. The black community has been given the welfare system where it keeps the black man out of it, the prison industrial system that keeps the black man out of the home, school to prison pipeline, which is essentially the same as the prison industrial system. And then the feminist movement that keeps the black man out the home. Because if you notice, there's a lot of people, a lot of other genders who will be feminists and have husbands, except the black community. The black community pushes for its women to be more educated than its men. It pushes for its women to be more employed than its men, therefore making more money than its men. Only the black community has this problem. And unfortunately, a lot of the black women are helping push this narrative because they feel stronger. And at the same time, a lot of black men have let black women down. That's a fact. See, the problem is we're trying to figure out which comes first, the chicken or the egg. When we need to just say, fuck it, throw the whole chicken and egg away and say, we're going to just start from scratch and go ahead and get back to what we need to get back to. Us as black men, we're going to start treating our black women better. Us as black women, we're going to start respecting our black men and treating our black men better. And vice versa. We both got to respect each other and treat each other better, period. But in order for us to get where we want in society, we have to look at what every other culture is doing. In black culture, it's not a patriarchal system. It's a matriarchal system. It's a matriarch, meaning the women are leading, not the men. The men are just wherever at this point. And again, the system has done this. It's working by design. The system isn't broken. It's working by design. The system was designed to get the black man out the home. Now, I know a lot of people like to say, well, there's more white people on social services than there are black people. It is. That's a fact. That is a fact. But it seems like the code enforcement is a little different because there'll be a lot of others who don't have their men outside the house but still collecting social services. Why is that? Why is it not a situation where in the black household, is it because the mentality that's being installed by the women? Like, it's it's a lot of factors that play into it. There's no one thing to point at. The system is the box. But within that box, there's other operations going on. And when you start telling women, yeah, you can be independent. You don't need that man. You don't need that man. You got food. You got shelter, you got clothes. What you need him for? He can't do nothing for you. You know what I mean? And a lot of times when it comes to men, we like relaxation. We like ease. We like less stress. We're not about to be sitting here arguing with nobody over stupid shit. Because you want to try and be the head of the household. If you go sit with any pastor to get your consultation before you're married, because a lot of y'all are religious. I'm not religious, but even your pastor tell you that ain't how, you ain't the head of the household, you the neck. So until we start working like a team, and it don't even have to be in a religious sense, we just gotta work like even if we're a two-headed monster, you know what I mean? There still has to be some type of pecking order. There's law and there's order. You know what I mean? Like it has to be a system where you gotta Y'all need to have some type of arrangement in between you two. Like, look, when we at home, we gonna relax, we gonna chill, we gonna take care of the household together, we gonna raise the kids together. But when we get out in this world, I'm the head of this household. I'm what we say. When I say goes. If I say, hey, let's go, we getting out of here, it's pack up and let's get the hell up out of here. No questions asked. I'll explain when we get to the house. There needs to be some type of pet. You cannot be butting heads in the middle of this craziness that's going on in this world, or you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail every single time. I personally believe in the patriarchal family. I feel like as a man, I am the head of. I don't feel like I know I am. I am the head of a household. I am the man of the house. It's what it when it at the end of the day, what I say is law. A lot of people like to say, "Oh, it's the woman that runs it." Yeah, I think that. Yeah, a lot of people think that, and that's fine for y'all to believe that. You know what I mean? If you believe that the woman runs, at least for my situation, if you feel like a woman runs the house, think that all you want. But her and I had an understanding. We had a conversation. We know what's really going on. We know what we had a very long talk, a very intricate talk on how things work. So what's understood ain't got to be explained, but take heed to that. What Judge Joe Brown was saying was, I understood it. The issue is this Harriet Tubman. I guarantee you, if they say we got to put Coretta Scott King or Betty Shabazz or any other woman on there, people wouldn't have a problem with what the hell he said. But Harriet Tubman was a writer, so that's why people have a problem with what he said. But I get his overall message. His overall message is men are supposed to lead this culture. And if men don't lead this culture is still going to continue to go to hell in a handbasket. Because I told y'all this before. And I hate to say it, but I got to tell the truth. Who raised these new generation niggas? What is the problem in these households? What is the problem with these men that people say aren't these men that these women are complaining about were raised by women? Because the fathers wasn't around. Remember, right or wrong, a lot of these fathers is fucking deadbeats, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, these women raise these men, and this is what you have left. So we have to get back to us raising our kids together, whether we're together or not. We got to raise our kids together, or it's going to continue to be what it is right now, or worse. It's that simple. So, with that being said, we real heavy on this. I'm gonna end with something. I want to. We're almost done here, but I want to talk about this right here. Now, I want y'all to read the tweet at the bottom. The tweet at the bottom says, "Just FYI, Charles Barkley told me tonight I don't hit women, but if I did, I would hit you. And then when I objected to that, he told me I couldn't take a joke." And look what Charles Barkley did. Look what Charles Barkley did. Charles Barkley's apologized. Now, here's my issue with this. Charles Barkley has said some very inflammatory things about black people, and not once has he ever apologized. The moment this woman takes a private conversation, run to Twitter, come with a narrative, get a little heat for Charles Barkley because he done said some crazy shit over the years, he immediately apologizes. So now Charles Barkley can joke and say anything he wants about everybody except her or people like her. It's called buck breaking. It's called bending the fucking knee. It's called bitch assness. Because at the end of the day, Charles Barkley, if you're a person who makes jokes and you say any fucking thing you want all the fucking time, irregardless of who the hell you pisses off, why the fuck are you apologizing now? You didn't threaten to hit her. You didn't say you were going to hit her. You didn't say you should hit her. You made a typical Charles Barkley inappropriate left field fucked up ass joke. Now you gotta apologize? All right, we'll remember that. We're gonna table that. But in closing, because we about 45 minutes in, y'all know I don't like to keep y'all too long because I know y'all attention spans are the size of a fucking pin drop. Look at this motherfucker. I don't know who this man is, but look at this shit. I guarantee you he's not foundational Black American. But look at this shit. Bruh, racism is nowhere near dying, motherfucker. What's happening is it's going ahead and saying, you know what, I'm tired of hiding. Racism is just coming out of hiding. They're tired of this shit. They tired. They're like, man, fuck this. I'm just gonna do what I want to do when I want to do it. And we got a president that's okay with the get down with it. He making it real good for us. So fuck that. I'm just gonna come on out the closet. That's what's happening with racism. It ain't fucking getting reinvigorated. It ain't calling for support because it's dying. It's like, man, I'm tired of hiding. I'm coming out the motherfucking closet. Matter of fact, throw a block party. Just say y'all niggas is scared, man. Just say say, look, man, I don't want to fight. I don't want to keep arguing. I don't want to keep dealing with this, so I'm scared. Just say you scared, man. If you scared, go to church or whatever they say. Man, just say you scared, man. Racism ain't nowhere near dying. It's alive and well. The system isn't broken. The system is working perfectly. It got you fools thinking it's dying. There's no real consequences for racism. What are you talking about? People are still dying with impunity. Cause little Barbecue Becky or whatever her fucking name is get fired from her job. You think racism is dead? She ain't get fired. She got transferred. She didn't get fired. She got transferred. Yeah, that one job said, hey, you can't work here no more, but another job said, hey, you can come work here. We ain't got a problem with what you said. Come on, man. Yo, bro, if you scared, just leave it alone. Just don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. That's what you can do. You cannot talk about it, ignore it, and all that good shit because you're scared. Just say, I'm scared. I'm going to go ahead and ignore it. I don't want to have to really deal with this shit. And leave that shit alone. Because this is some bullshit. You sound retarded as hell, bro. You sound dumb as hell. Racism is dying. I know it looks like it's reinvigorated, but that's what happens when something is dying. It calls out for help and support. Shut the I can't stand motherfuckers like you. Ain't fucking dying. You dumb. Y'all motherfuckers want sexual acts that's that bad. Y'all want to sleep with white women and everybody outside your race that bad that you think racism is fucking dying? Look at the president we have. He got elected after the black president, not before, after. He's a fucking reaction to what just happened. Y'all scary. Man, stay the fuck away from me and the Foundation of Black Americans. We ain't with all that punk shit. We ain't with all that, man. I tell you that, man. I'ma holler at y'all next week. I thank y'all for tuning in. I thank y'all for staying patient. For those of you that stay down till you get down till you let up, all that good shit. I appreciate you to the fullest, man. Thank you. We'll holler at you next week. Make sure you follow me on all social media networks at Marv Crittenden, Unorthodox Logic with Marv. We are out. Make sure you tune in to Mars World Radio every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, folks. Peace.